It's a big day for the Dow, up 189, crossing 24K for the first time. The Nasdaq also trying to recover from its worst day since the middle of August. Bitcoin continued its wild swings over the past 24 hours, up and down $1,000. Joining us to discuss, Ellie Wheeler is a partner with Greycroft Partners, joins us here at Post 9, and Frank Calderoni is president and CEO of Anaplan. Guys, good to have you with us. No lack of news to discuss. The rotation in tech, did it strike you as unusual? And do you think it's about taxes or something else, Ellie?
It didn't strike me as unusual. You've seen an incredible rise over the past year. There's going to be fluctuations up and down. There's a lot of uncertainty. It's going to happen. I mean, you can't expect things to go up forever.
Do you think there's any impact here of what's going on with net neutrality and the expectation that those rules will really be overhauled sometime in the next month?
I think that certainly leads into the uncertainty, but I think time will tell.
Frank, your company does business planning, and with the potential tax changes that we see wending their way through Capitol Hill, I imagine there are a lot of people who have questions about that. Are you seeing that show up in your business and the demand for either features or usage? And how hard a time are your customers having planning their business?
So I think, John's a great question, because companies are seeing a tremendous amount of volatility, whether it's on tax law changes, currency, changes in the business environment, and so forth. You know, we provide a platform that allows our companies to plan more effectively, make better decisions with their business, and have it be across the enterprise. And therefore, as changes come about, they're able to make those changes by making quicker decisions within their organization. And I think that's becoming much more prevalent. And we're seeing more and more of that with the enterprise customers that we sell to.
And how much change are you expecting in terms of the impact of the tax changes? Are your clients starting to take that into account in their planning?
I think it's early, but our clients are starting to think about some of the tax law changes and what that's going to do, especially on an international basis, with tax repatriation and things like that, dealing with cash and the balance sheet and how they model that and what investments they need to make. Having a planning platform to be able to do that gives them a lot of ability to model different scenarios and then be able to kind of take those different scenarios and implement that within their business very effectively.
Ellie, how is Bitcoin being talked about in the Valley right now?
Constantly. I mean, it seems that everyone checks Coinbase for the first 3 hours of every day. It was a bit problematic when it went down yesterday, but obviously it's an ongoing discussion. People are very interested in starting to also understand beyond Bitcoin, really what are the business use cases of distributed ledger technology.
Is the general narrative blockchain valuable, Bitcoin uncertain and overpriced, or is it more complex than that?
I think you distilled it well. I think there's a lot of people who are Bitcoin bulls, though, who would dispute that. So certainly, I think there's a ton of interest in blockchain. You've heard it from the Fed. You've heard it from others. Obviously, that carries a lot of weight. So there's going to be a lot there.
Frank, you were a CFO for a long time. Most recently, I think, at Cisco, though maybe I'm missing one. Red Hat. Mm-hmm. Okay. So as a CFO, do you look at Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as an opportunity to provide some level of stability or security within a business, or do you just run as far away as you can from it?
You know, I think it's very early from a Bitcoin perspective when you think about enterprise companies. You know, we sell at Anaplan a lot to enterprise companies. We haven't seen that much attention from a Bitcoin standpoint. When you get underneath and you look at the blockchain technology, I think that's going to allow for a tremendous amount of capability in the future, but I think it's very early right now, and I think that's why we're seeing a lot of the volatility with Bitcoin in particular.